Hey, y'all got a phone call, so I don't even know where I stopped at. Let me see. Let me start again. A lot of men say they want pious or wholesome women for wives, but in the same breath, they have assisted in promoting promiscuity for thousands of years to these same wholesome and pious women. This is very illogical thinking, especially for the male species who think that logic triumphs over emotions. Okay? Most of us have heard of the cliches. Men are logical, which has some spectacles, and women are emotional. So common also is men are from Mars and women are from Venus. So Mars is known as the god or lord of war, the ruler of Aries, which is a fire sign. So if y'all were to ask me if I looked at fire as logical or emotional, which one do y'all think I would pick? Interestingly enough, Venus is known as the goddess and ruler of Libra, an air sign, and Taurus, an earth sign, and is known as the goddess of love, which is emotions. Now, y'all think about that for a little bit. So if you analyze fire and love, they both would appear from a surface point of view to be coming from emotional places and spaces. Logic doesn't appear evident, does it? So, and just for those people who are interested in astrology and astronomy, who like to hear something a little bit about the zodiacs, or just the planetary information about that. So I'm not trying to spook people who don't follow astrology or astronomy. It's just still energy, and it has an effect on our emotions, whether y'all understand it or know it or not. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get back to this. So it is, for me, it is the lack of emotions of men not being in touch with their emotions that causes them to run from what they've been trained to see as part of a woman's makeup, which are emotions. So men, y'all have to come in touch with y'all emotions in order to connect with your heart. Now this may be news to some, but not to others. People always talk about our heart emotions, and how women are always, we live in our heart spaces. Well, men and women both have hearts, and they both beat and pump blood. So, and that's where a lot of our emotions sit. And that's where we store a lot of our fears too. Okay, so I don't understand how most men can view themselves as protectors of women, viewing them as the weaker sex, and then take advantage of their vulnerability, even abusing them, sexually, emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. That never made much sense to me, and it still doesn't. So I once again, this is all about men. When you want something, as I said, when you go after something you want, make sure what you go after is what you want. Because even if a young boy is groomed, I say by their dads, by their family members, who have been groomed by the same, generations, and they have not sought to see that this is a damaging trend to pass down, and they really haven't thought about the harm it has done to young boys and to young girls. And while we may be so dysfunctional and detach from one another as a whole, because men are taught as children not to cry, not to be in touch with their emotions. Well, the danger that has come out of that is when they now grow up and try to be in a relationship, it's no wonder why they run, because they never were allowed to feel them before. And if they did feel them, they could have hid. They could have did it, in places where people didn't see them crying or showing how they felt, because it was a taboo, which doesn't make sense to me either, because I always said men have tear ducts just like women. They have emotions just like women. So, and I have boys, and I didn't teach my boys. When they cried, I let them cry. Because it would be, to me, there would be a terrible offense to their spirits to suppress their emotions. And so I think that's the reason why a lot of the men today haven't been in touch with their emotions, because like I said, how they grew up as children. Like, the dads didn't want them to cry, they were around, and then the mom didn't want them to cry. They were like trying to follow the dad's lead, or young boys don't cry. Yes, they do. If babies cry, boys, why we don't tell the baby boys, oh, you shouldn't be crying when they're babies. You shouldn't be crying. We don't do that. We let them cry. But somehow when they start to grow up and develop into young boys and young men, adolescents, they're told, oh no, you're supposed to inhibit or hold these things, these emotions back. Where you've now created detached, unavailable, emotional men. So this is why my viewpoints don't have to be right or wrong. Just an analysis, observance. So this is why they may be detached from women and viewed as being too emotional, because they never were taught to tap into it or allowed to tap into it. So that's going to take a lot of work. And thank goodness for the men who do embrace their feminine side, their emotional side themselves. Okay? Thank y'all. So y'all can now be the brothers to teach the other men it's okay to be tapped into your emotions, because how can we love our women and our girl children if we're not? Because for some reason men tend to separate women from their daughters. Like, they can show emotions to their daughters, but when it comes to the wives or the significant others or the girlfriends, it becomes an issue. So that's just some of my viewpoints. And then also we let pride get in the way of us showing emotions. But pride to me just equal to stubbornness and immaturity. So y'all, these just a part of my thoughts. I ain't trying to beat nobody up, because I don't want to be beat up. And I would like, again, for y'all to engage and let me know how y'all feel. So when you approach a woman, approach her with the intentions, okay, not to hurt or to harm or injure. Leave her alone. If you just doing it just to play a game, or collect her as another notch or belt buckle or whatever it is, another sexual fantasy that you have achieved. It's not manly, it's childish, and it's adolescent. I love my brothers, and I'm not trying to bash y'all, beat y'all up. I'm just bringing awareness, okay? And if y'all can resound with what I'm saying, if you understand, overstand, and understand what I've shared with y'all today, like I said, I would love for y'all to share back with me what you think about it, your thoughts, your viewpoints, and let's engage more. Until next time, thank y'all for keeping me company. Let's do this again.